What do you know about Tipu Sultan? Some call him a hero, others a tyrant. He's remembered as both a freedom fighter and a religious fanatic. The British painted him as a monster, while Indian stories hail him as the first to truly challenge the British East India Company. But Tipu's real story is far from simple. It's a tale of courage, innovation, and ambition. To understand him, we must travel to 18th century southern India, a time of upheaval and shifting power. The Mughal Empire was fading. New powers like the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad were rising, and Europeans arrived with new ambitions. Tipu was born into this world of chaos. Named after a Sufi saint, his title, Sultan, marked his independence. But it was Tiger of Mysore that defined him. He wore tiger stripes, sat on a golden tiger throne, and made the tiger his symbol of ferocity and defiance. The British, his greatest enemies, helped create this legend. They told stories of the fearsome Tiger of Mysore to justify their wars. Yet, in their fear, they revealed respect for his power. Tipu was not just another local king. He was a formidable opponent. His name inspired both awe and dread. The stories about him, hero or villain, are powerful, but the truth is more complex. Tipu's life forces us to question the simple narratives of history. He was a man who refused to be caged by any foreign power. His legend endures because he challenged the mightiest empire of his time. To truly know Tipu Sultan, we must look beyond myth and propaganda. This is his story. Tipu Sultan was never meant to be ordinary. His father, Hyder Ali, rose from humble origins to rule Mysore and knew survival meant strength. Tipu's education was rigorous. He learned to fight, strategize, and lead from a young age. He mastered horseback riding, swordsmanship, and the art of war. But he was also a scholar, fluent in several languages and well-versed in science and philosophy. This rare blend of intellect and military skill shaped him into a modern ruler. As a teenager, Tipu saw real combat, leading troops in the First Anglo-Mysore War. He led from the front, earning the respect of his soldiers. These early battles taught him the realities of war and the threat posed by the British. He realized that defeating them required more than bravery. It needed innovation and unity. Hyder Ali taught him to be relentless and never underestimate his enemy. These lessons defined Tipu's reign. He was forged in the crucible of conflict, destined to challenge the world's most powerful empire. Tipu's journey from prince to warrior king was shaped by both blood and intellect. His story was just beginning. In Tipu Sultan's time, the Mysorean rocket was a weapon that changed warfare. Tipu and his father perfected these iron-cased rockets, creating specialized units to launch them. The British had never seen anything like it. Rockets that could travel over a kilometer, bouncing and exploding among enemy ranks. The psychological impact was immense, breaking even disciplined British lines. These rockets gave Tipu's army a technological edge. After Tipu's fall, the British reverse-engineered his rockets, leading to the famous Congreve rockets used in later wars. Tipu's innovation didn't just defend Mysore, it changed global military history. His legacy as an innovator endures, even in the arsenals of his enemies. The Mysorean rocket was a symbol of local ingenuity against imperial might. Tipu's battlefield was a laboratory for new ideas. His weapons left a mark far beyond India. Tipu Sultan knew a strong army needed a strong economy. He promoted silk farming, turning Mysore into a textile powerhouse. State-run factories produced everything from sugar to cannons, making Mysore self-sufficient. He standardized currency and weights, streamlining trade and reducing corruption. Tipu cut out European middlemen, managing imports and exports directly. His economic reforms aimed to make Mysore independent and resilient. For Tipu, economic strength was the foundation of political freedom. He envisioned Mysore as both a military and economic powerhouse. His policies were revolutionary for their time. Tipu Sultan's world was a maze of shifting alliances and rivalries. He sought allies against the British, reaching out to France, the Ottoman Empire, and Indian powers like the Marathas and the Nizam. His embassies to France made headlines, but European support never materialized. Closer to home, Indian rulers distrusted Tipu's ambitions and often sided with the British. The British exploited these divisions, mastering the art of divide and rule. Tipu's diplomatic efforts were bold, but ultimately left him isolated. He dreamed of a united front against colonialism, but mistrust and self-interest prevailed. His isolation would prove costly in the wars to come. Tipu's struggle was not just on the battlefield, but in the courts of kings. His diplomatic gambles shaped the fate of Mysore. In the end, he stood alone. Tipu Sultan's religious policies remain hotly debated. He supported Hindu temples in Mysore, granting land and aid, and rebuilt the Sringeri monastery after it was attacked. Yet, in conquered regions like Malabar and Coorg, he ordered forced conversions and harsh reprisals. For Tipu, religion and politics were deeply intertwined, his actions often driven by military strategy. The British used his harshest acts as propaganda, painting him as a fanatic. In truth, Tipu was both protector and persecutor, depending on circumstance. Within Mysore, he acted as a traditional ruler, supporting diverse faiths. In rebellious territories, he was ruthless. His legacy defies simple labels. He was a complex man in a complex time. Understanding Tipu means looking beyond black and white narratives. Seringapatam, Tipu's capital, was the heart of his empire. Heavily fortified, it symbolized his determination to resist the British. Inside, the city bustled with palaces, temples, markets, and gardens. Tipu's summer palace, Darya Daulat Bagh, was adorned with murals of victory and courtly life. Seringapatam was a hub of commerce and innovation, home to state-run factories and a vast library. Scholars and artisans flocked to his court, fueling progress. The city's defenses were cutting-edge, designed to withstand heavy artillery. For the British, capturing Seringapatam was both a military and symbolic goal. The city's strength mirrored Tipu's will to fight. Seringapatam was the ultimate prize and the last stand. Tipu Sultan's greatest threat wasn't just the British, it was betrayal from within. As the British closed in, key ministers like Mir Sadiq and Purnaya lost faith and secretly aided the enemy. They provided the British with vital information, undermining Tipu's defenses. Their motives were complex. Some hoped to save Mysore, others sought power. On the day of the final assault, Mir Sadiq's sabotage opened the way for the British. The fortress's downfall was sealed not just by enemy guns, but by treachery. The cracks in Seringapatam were as much in loyalty as in stone. Tipu's fate was decided as much by betrayal as by battle. The Tiger of Mysore was brought down from within. The Fourth Anglo-Mysore War in 1799 was Tipu Sultan's final stand. Surrounded and outnumbered, he retreated to Seringapatam. The British, aided by traitors, bombarded the city relentlessly. Tipu refused to surrender, choosing to fight to the death. On May 4th, the British stormed the breach. Tipu led his men in fierce street battles. Wounded but unyielding, he fought until the end, dying at the city gate. His death marked the end of the strongest resistance to British rule in southern India. The British celebrated, plundering his treasury and dividing his kingdom. But Tipu's fall sparked a legend. He became a symbol of resistance and martyrdom. His story inspired future generations of Indian freedom fighters. Tipu was neither pure hero nor villain. He was a complex, brilliant, and flawed man. His life reminds us to question simple historical narratives. The Tiger of Mysore's legacy endures in the struggle for independence. His innovations, courage, and ambition left a mark on history. Tipu's story is not just the past. It's a call to keep questioning and learning. Legends are born in the space between myth and reality. Tipu Sultan's name still whispers through history in both fear and awe. This is the legacy of the Tiger of Mysore.